All
All
right,
right.
perfect.
Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. And today we're going to be interviewing.
NOIR TM on YouTube, Instagram. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's all I got right now. And
Just
Ray Luxurious ones on Facebook.
wait, what? You got to change the name. It has to follow each other. Has to
No,
follow.
dude, what do you mean? I'm Ray Luxurious Buns on Facebook. It lets me be like kind of incognito, you know? It's pretty funny.
I
I
understand.
like it.
It's a little easier to follow you and everything like that. So, as he said, he is the guy who is swapping the VR30 motor into a 370Z on video, and he's pioneering that. You guys need to understand that. And he's going to be out here giving the tips, tricks, and why we're going to be doing this. This is a crazy thing because if you got a G37, this is what you want to do. Or a 370Z, or matter of fact, shoot, somebody with maybe an FX or M37.
I'm sorry about
It don't work.
that. I'm like,
You got a
yo,
family.
I'm literally trying to. Yeah, right. I'm literally trying to do an interview right now, bro. What are you doing? I just had to throw. I don't know if you saw. I just had to chuck some tools at her, bro. I don't know if this ever happened to you on an interview, but we're gonna break that ground right now.
We're gonna do what we can do. We're gonna do what we can do. So, first question I'm gonna ask you for everybody. Please go subscribe to his YouTube channel. His links are gonna be below to his social medias, IG and YouTube. So let's go. Let's jump right into it. But a matter of fact, what's your background like? What made you a Nissan Infiniti enthusiast? Did you start with Nissan Infiniti?
It's funny. I really didn't like I liked Nissans just because of R32, like the whole GTR like franchise. I thought it was awesome, you know. But I never really was a fan of Z's until my fiance, because I broke my SRT4, typical SRT4 things. But
Okay.
I spent more time on a tow truck than actually driving it.
Mm.
But literally, I'm looking for a new car. I already sold the SRT4, and my fiance wanted a 370Z. I was like, these things are ugly. Why do you want? Well, no, she wanted a 350Z. I was like, these are ugly, like egg-shaped cars. You want that?
Yeah.
So we go look at some. I'm like, whatever, bro. My buddy, he let me drive his Nismo 350Z to a meet once. I fell in love. Like immediately, I was
Okay.
like, holy crap, these things. Yeah, like that was it, game changer. I went ahead and just started looking for 350Zs. Kind of saw they're in the same price range of a 370, so I was like, why not just step up and get the good one? And then I just got a 370Z. Just been in love ever since, man.
Okay, that's okay. So you weren't born in it. You had the crappy SRT4. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, my friend actually, I don't know if he's watching, but he actually had the same black one, and his car wouldn't start for days because the ground ECU was disconnected. Just the ground. Car was just
It's
sitting
just
there like,
SRT4 things, man. Like
yeah.
that car spends more time broken than running.
Okay, so when you got the 370Z, like when did you start the YouTube channel then? Like right then and there, or is it like
No, it was like we were. I actually started this channel with my brother-in-law some time ago, but it was just I was always talking about starting a channel. It's that typical thing where you're watching these YouTubers and you're like, oh, I could do that. I could do that.
hmm.
But 2 years later, I got laid off from my job, and I just had a lot of free time. So I'm like, like eventually I just started, and it started just trickling into what it is now.
Okay. All right, so before you decided to make this crazy swap, what were some of the modifications you did to the 370Z before the fact?
I just did 3-inch intakes from RZG. I had what was it, ISR test pipe exhaust, like from test pipes all the way back to
Mhm.
the end, and that was pretty much it. Just tuned by Martin at RS Enthalpy. It's
And
just
that was
basic, but it was awesome.
all
Let
right.
me tell you, man, the exhaust opening up on the Z is so just perfect.
All right, so now I'm gonna start picking at you now. I'm going down the list. All right. So then you got that power, you're breaking what, 320 wheel horsepower. Now
Hmm.
what made you say, or what made you want to add even more power or go FI or possibly a motor swap?
Man, because bro, Z's are pretty slow to today's standards, and it's kind of sad because it's such a good chassis. And then the same buddy who let me drive the 350Z, he had a turbo 370Z Nismo, and just he never let me drive it. I wish, but seeing him rip it on the street, like I think he was making like right at 500 horsepower at that time. Man, it's so night and day different compared to an NAZ. So for a good while, I was trying to save up for a turbo kit, and I almost went with the switchback racing one.
Mhm.
And but then you know, I didn't make that kind of money at that time because I was laid off. So I just had to kind of figure out what was the best route for me to make the most power, but with the least amount of money.
Okay, so now how did you even come across? Like, who said, hey, swap the VR30 and 370Z, like, do something that no one's really doing?
Nissan, man. Dude, once they came out with that orange club sport, as a joke, it all started that we were like, dude, let's just swap a VR38 in your car. And I was like, and obviously, you know, taking it as a joke, I'm not going to put a GTR motor in my car.
Yeah.
But after some thinking, we were like, dude, if Nissan did it, why can't we? So I started messing around and we were like, why not just put a VR30 in it? And we didn't expect it to be really realistically an easy thing, but it ended up being a lot easier than we expected.
Yeah, I was definitely watching when you were doing it because I saw that I think Z1 Motorsports did it with Nissan, right? I can't remember.
Well, Nissan did their own, and then Z1 did their own as well too.
Okay. And all right. Man, this is great. I love this world. This is so good that they could be able to do this stuff. All right. Now, for some of the people that are watching, I know I don't want them to give all the beans on your channel, so I do want you to watch some of your older videos on how much you might have paid for it, how easy, but like what you would say like the top 3 things that you thought was so easy about putting the motor in through the experience?
Well, I didn't know what the easiest things were until it happened, but it ended up being just dropping the motor in and being able to use the same motor mounts, which is pretty wild. Then the second thing was mating a manual transmission to a car that I don't believe has a manual transmission unless they do in Europe. I'm not even sure, but and then so I didn't expect that to fit so perfect. And then the third thing would be just finding a clutch. Well, the clutch kit. You know, all we did was get a flywheel, and we used the same Z34 clutch and pressure plate, and it works just perfect.
So the bell housing of the transmission just bolts right up to the VR30, as you're telling me?
Yeah, there's 2 bolts that don't fit on the bottom, but I believe even Nissan themselves don't even utilize them too. So you just have to make a little hole for the crankshaft position sensor.
Mm-hmm.
Gets moved over maybe about 1.5 inches to the right. So you cut a new hole and it just mates perfect.
That's it.
Yeah, simple.
What about like drive shaft length? Like that was fine too?
Yeah, you have to think about the fact that you're using an OEM transmission and the OEM spot and the mounts and everything. So everything from the transmission back is literally whatever comes in the Z, that's what it has right now. So and that's what everybody was saying. People thought it wouldn't fit.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally
it's
insane.
Crazy.
Like based on architecture, it just went right in. Wow.
It's literally like Nissan just kind of made this because they're trying to carry over some parts. I don't know, maybe in the new Z, but it kind of just seems like they did this intentionally and it just mates perfect.
You know what? They might have. All right. So let's just backtrack a little bit. So because I'm talking about the easiest thing. So let's backtrack a little bit. So my next question would be, tell everybody how cheap. Well, first thing, how did you even get the motor? And then second, how cheap was the swap?
How I got the motor was some sketchy dudes in the back of a truck that looked like they had a gun. No, I'm being dead serious. Like, I wish I would record it. I thought I was gonna get shot that night for sure, but it was some sketchy dudes in the back of a truck that literally I DM'd them on OfferUp. Like, hey, look, you know, I'm looking for a motor. They ended up selling it to me with a transmission, turbos, and everything. And I was like, this is way too questionable. I know. So I thought I was buying a blown motor. They pop up and I'm just like, yo, these are some sketchy looking dudes. I'm like, you know, what's the deal? But that ended up being a legit good motor. And I got it for $1,400. And then, and then wait, what was the other question? I'm brain farting.
The other question was, second question is, well, you found out how you got it. Now, how expensive was the swap? I know I'm just jumping all around here with the questions. I'm not good at interviewing.
I would say bring it all down together. I think it was right at $5,000 is how much the entire swap cost me.
Now, guys that are watching, I also have people on IG watching right now. He's just telling everybody right now that swapping a VR30 for a good price in a 370Z costs him a total at this current moment, with the exception of other little things, $5,000. Now, you guys already know if you wanted, let's say, a turbo for your Z or G37, that's what, close to $9,000 to $10,000. Still in supercharger kit was at $7,000.
Yeah, about that. You can get some. You can get an air to water one a little cheaper, but they don't really make that much power.
So about 5K, and this is for a regular dude from Florida. This isn't a big shop like AMS or Zero Motorsports or Concept Z. This is someone who just in the yard, let's get some elbow grease and some jack stands and get it done.
Yeah, dude, I had zero experience with anything like this, and we were able to get it done.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, let's go to the hardest part because I know people watching the video, and I want to make this video long enough that I can get detailed, but I just want to jump and say over the stuff that people want to know at the start. So, what would you say would be the 3 hardest things about this now at this current moment?
At this current moment, I only have 2. One is the engine harness. If you can't find someone to do the engine harness, just wait. Get the engine harness first. And then the second issue I'm having, even down to this moment, figured it out, but it's very annoying, was fueling.
Really? Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember watching that the pumps weren't the low pressure fuel pump wouldn't prime.
Yeah, now it primes, but the problem is that it's just not getting signal to the ECU. But we finally figured out the problem, so that was probably the hardest part. But even then, that wasn't that hard. So the hardest thing is the harness.
So I remember asking before, but the harness was custom made, or you said you didn't have the ECU, right?
No, I have the ECU. Everything came together. The harness is custom made. It was made by I know I got a really good deal.
Yeah.
From Martin at RS Enthalpy. He actually made my harness. It kind of acts like a standalone harness.
Okay, so it's easy just to plug and play. Okay. So yeah, so you pretty much were just dealing with electrical issues mainly and fueling.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, see, look, I mean, there's gremlins there, but you could get it done. All right, so now we got some of this stuff. So my questions now is because I remember when you first did it, I'm like, I hope he puts full down pipes on this car at the time because he don't want to swap it. I'm like, he should also put RT turbos in there at the same time. I was like, he should do pre-rs, but I'm like, he's trying to keep it affordable. So I know once you get the car running and everything like that, and you get the car tuned the way it is stock, right? You got everything running. At some point, you're gonna be like, all right, you gotta have more power. You gotta go 85. But what is like some of your plans? Are you gonna try to blow the stock turbos or like max them out and then just go?
I will.
Huh?
This motor, everything. Honestly, if I don't blow this motor, I'll be disappointed.
Well,
I want to go.
blow the motor.
No, Boost. We're gonna blow this thing, man. I want to blow this thing. Now, obviously, you don't want to look forward to blowing a motor, you know, but I want to push it as far as it can go because initially, I wanted to do this in 3 stages. One, I wanted to get the motor in the car being the most cost-effective way. I did actually already put the AMS full down pipes in. Exactly. So, and even then, I spent a little bit more than I probably should have, but it was just to knock it all out once the motor's out the car. Stage 2 is just getting the upgraded turbos. And then stage 3 would be like a fully built VR30. So I want to go through every stage, but I plan on getting a second motor to send out to whomever has the best, kit and can build the motor the best. Send it out to them, blow this thing up, and just have fun and get a lot of good content.
So, okay, that's long term. So let's get a little bit deeper. So you want to do like a closed deck motor or just some rods and pistons, bearings, and call it deck?
I would love to have a fully built motor, but it's just whatever's available. Because I honestly I'm not too knowledgeable of how far they go building the VRs. Because so far I know they just do what pistons and rods are. I mean, yeah, pistons and rods right now. So I mean, if it needs more, I'll put it. But if all it needs is pistons and rods to make 800 or 1,000, then I'll stick with that for now.
Okay. See. All right. So now we're gonna have a VR30 370Z manual swap. Are there any other components outside the motor and transmission that you want to do to the car? The 370Z.
I would love a sequential, but that takes a lot of money and time. So, and eventually, if the channel keeps growing at this rate and everything, will the high power that's gonna make, I think a sequential will probably be the best move.
Okay. What about like LSD, drive shaft, interior? I believe you put in racing seats.
Yeah, I put in racing seats. The interior is like it's pretty gutted. That car is it's pretty much a death trap.
So you want it to be that way, or do you want it to be like a clean swap? Because
I know I love that. No, I love it. I want this car to be as race car as possible. Like if I have a cage idea already on the way, everything is gonna be built proper. Because my goal is to be doing just Time attack, I don't need necessarily all that horsepower, but I'm gonna just have it just to have it. But the goal is realistically to make this a fun time attack car, go through the process, and just get a lot of seat time out of it.
See, look, I didn't know that. See, look, I'm thinking because I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and we want the cars to be clean and fast. But I saw that your interior was gutted, and I'm just like, all right, maybe because he's swapping a motor, like that clears his mind. But now I know that you're actually doing it for a purpose, and people don't understand that. Like you're actually doing it for a purpose, and that's why you did it.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a lot of sense because if you go spend $9,000-$10,000 on a kit, you don't want to break something on a $9,000-$10,000 kit. But if you blow a motor, you'll get another one from some sketchy dudes.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Sketchy dudes in the back of a truck is the best buy ever. But but I want to get that second motor build it up, and this car will be all purpose. And the new Z, if it comes out in a soon time frame, then that will be like the clean. Maybe stance that car out for now. Figure it. And once there's a bigger aftermarket for it, then we'll go balls to the wall. But right now, this VR Swap Z, there's nothing. I'm not going to be friendly to this car at all. That's why I'm expecting to have to get a second motor.
So we're going to actually have a car that's getting beat on, basically. So no one's racing their VR30s and beating them. Like everyone's.
I want to see more VRs, just like everybody going balls to the wall, because right now everybody is pretty conservative. Not everybody, but a huge percentage of people are pretty conservative.
I think it's because it's the chassis necessarily. The Q50s, people are not taking that to circuit racing. It's a mom's car. And then the Q50s,
true,
are still a little bit on the expensive side, like mid 25,000. So people not really gonna take those and drift or do any circuit races. Once again, it's a heavy freaking car, So I think that's why. I think that's probably why. Everybody right now just cares about straight line performance, either a drag strip and trying to have the most wheel horsepower.
Yeah, that's why shout out to Team Paquito. They're the ones that kind of keep me going because, dude, Edwin right now is, I don't know if he's watching his clips on Instagram, but he is moving. So that honestly is like motivating me to go more and more and more.
Him, Qzilla, a lot of, and the thing is, I don't get good DA like we do up north. So if you guys could just have temperatures like us and DA like us, your cars would be even faster. You know what I'm saying?
It's always humid and hot.
And that's the crazy part. You guys are doing a lot. Can you get a crate VR30? Let me see if there's any questions that any that these guys may have for them. Augie, can you get a crate VR30? At this current moment,
for like 25 G's, I think.
But you could probably get AMS. And
I think you could buy a crate VR30, but it's just stupid expensive. Like not even worth it.
Yeah, it's probably already built for you already. I'm just going through it. What's going on F82? I would try this in a 370 sports model with Brimbos. Okay, let me just see if there's any questions. Everybody's just joining and watching everything like that. Let me see if there's any other. My first car was a Sentra. Anybody in the chat, if you guys got any questions already on the G37 or 370Z or just any other Nissan Infiniti that has a VQ37 or VQ35, definitely post in the chat. See because if you guys want to know, this is like the best time. This is for the people that are watching. Bear with me, guys, that's watching on the phone. Shout out everyone that pushes Nissan Infiniti. Yeah, roll. Okay. All right. Okay, next. So you're not gonna do any drag racing because it's gonna be manual. So
in time, it's before I put in all the arrows on the Z. I want to get a couple of runs in with a couple of people, and some people are talking shit. So I want to knock that out, and then I'm gonna start focusing on time attack.
Okay. The next thing I want to ask you is, what is the completion rate? Like if you were gonna sit there and think how 100% complete, where do you think you're at right now with the car?
I would say 98. It's just that one low pressure fuel pump problem, but realistically, I would say 98, 99. I just need to wire that up, and we're good to go.
So you can start the car, put some fluids in the car first.
Yeah.
And then start the car, and then he'll start to tune your car either on 93 or E85 or anything like that. Are you scared to touch E85, knowing that? No,
I'm trying to run E50.
You're gonna run E50
right off rip. Yeah, ready off rip. I'm ready to tune on E50. Right now, I'm driving on 93 because that's what my base map is for. But Martin's going to be down here soon, so it's going to be straight E50.
So E50 on what? High pressure fuel pump, low pressure fuel pump. Which AMS.
Right now, Right now, I just have the stock one, and Martin told me that I can still run E50 on the stock one. It's a little questionable, but I mean, still can get done, you know.
He
But
did that. I believe he did that on Edwin's car,
yeah,
E50. So that was way before turbos and everything. And a few other people have did, and a few other people have done that too, from what I know. But you know, anybody who's been tuned by like AMS, they're like, oh, you should upgrade your high pressure fuel pump. So
I'm
people
trying to
go,
keep it as cost effective as possible because until, like I said, like I get this thing on the road. Right now, I'm doing it. I'm building this car as if like it's. I'm trying to show the next person, hey, look, you can do it with this amount of money. You don't have to get too excessive with the mods. This is the bare bones. This is how you're gonna make 500 or close to 500 horsepower. When the time comes when it's done, then I'll step into the next step, start throwing some money. My fiance will yell at me, go the whole nine, you know?
this is probably going to be one of the lightest chassis right now because that's with, so you're going to actually see the actual performance. You're making 500 wheel, close to 500 wheel, and what is it, 3,200 pounds? Because you say it's gutted. So it's going to be
Yeah,
close to 3,000
it
pounds.
should, yeah, it should be around right now with how much weight I've taken out. It should be around 3,100.
Exactly. That is almost a full thousand less than my Q50. So that is going to translate to a really faster car, like a lot faster car. And people don't understand it. And you're 6-speed manual, so you don't have much drivetrain loss.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I love Qs, I really do, but they're cows. And if they were a little bit lighter, and look how much damage they're doing already. Imagine if those chassis are you put in even lighter chassis. It's wild, you know. Imagine if someone did this in a 240. It's just absolutely wild with how
And
much
it,
power you can
and
make
it's
with the
gonna
power to
happen.
weight ratio.
It's
Yep,
gonna
someone's
happen.
gonna do it eventually. We
It's,
talked about this last time. I hope
yeah,
someone does.
yeah.
I'll be
Someone's
disappointed if they don't.
no, they will. It's just that people, there's so much other motors that they're swapping in. LSs, SRs,
Be
VQs,
different, man.
you know what I'm saying? In this case, someone's gonna do it, and I think it's gonna keep it within the Nissan Infiniti family. It's just that we gotta wait and see, you know.
Yeah. If there's anybody watching that wants to go balls to the wall, please do it just for the community, man.
Enthusiast PV shout out. Let me see. I'm seeing what questions we have here. What's going on, Gabe? Can I use a manual transmission from a 370Z in your Q50? Yes, somebody has did that already at Boosted Crew 95. Check out
Hmm.
Q50 LSQ. He was the first person to swap in a manual transmission in his Q50 3.7. Alex Q60 RS is in the chat. Ask him what kind of type of oil he's gonna use.
Type of man, shut up, Alex. God, I know who that is. Shut
Yeah.
up.
Oh, we
This
got
guy,
Mike's
bro.
SRT4. He said why? Okay, me, I
All right.
want it so bad. Sweet. We got a YouTube on here. Yeah. Well, see, look, someone has Mike's has the SRT4, so maybe y'all brothers or something like that, because you started with SRT4.
I love SRTs, man. But he asked why I did this swap.
I believe, or why you're doing it. I think he'll probably
Yeah.
write down with something in the chat.
No, the easiest answer is why not, dude.
Yeah, you took it on. The next question I would ask you is, well, you knowing that your second car was whenever they choose to drop the Z. Matter of fact, what do you think they're gonna do with the Z car, the next Z car? Because we have about 2 weeks or about a week and a half until they release the prototype of it, and
Mhm.
they're probably gonna give us information. What do you think they will have in that 400Z or whatever Nissan car it is?
I think it's going to be a 300ZX remake, and then I also think it would only make sense to put a VR30 in that car because it's a twin turbo 3.0. It would stick to the heritage of the Z. I would hope and love to think that they fix the issues that are in the current VR30s. No belt issues, no turbo seal issues, all that. And I would love a manual transmission, but I would love even more. You made a great point if they put a 9-speed automatic transmission, and I mean, from the Titan. That would be sick. I would actually buy that. That would be awesome. And just make the body look sexy. That's at that point, if you have the internals locked down, it's just at this point, it's all about making the car look presentable and actually worth the purchase.
I agree because I remember I did make a video about this a few times, but I also think that I think about the outside first. I think they need to make the car appealing looking because like I'm just looking at the Toyota Supra, right? Put the whole BMW Toyota thing to the side. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think the Toyota Supra is really an appealing car. Like at least my own eyes. Like the back of it is completely different. Nothing on the road looks like the back of the Toyota Supra.
Yeah,
The
true.
front, even though it does look nothing like on the road, it to me, I don't think it's sleek. I think it's ugly. I think it's ugly. They tried to put some of the Supra look in it and then like smear it across like shit. And that's where they effed up at. If it's not sleek enough. And of course, it's actually even smaller than the older Supra. So it's like, wow, it's even smaller and more cramped. And I think that's really it. I think that they should pay more attention to the way it looks, make it look futuristic, like, you know, good looking. And then they could go into the interior and make it be a good place that you enjoy being. Because if you get like in a Camaro SS right now, well, the old, well, they're cutting it, but the Camaro, I hate the Camaros in the interior. I fucking hate it. It's like it's so cramped, it's so tight, there's no real room. And it's like, why did someone spend their hard-earned money on this? Even though I have maybe some Camaro people who watch me, it's like when you get in a Mustang, even an EcoBoost, or you get in a Challenger, you enjoy being in those cars for a certain period of time.
And they're comfortable. They're pretty comfortable, man. You nailed it. The 6th gen Camaro, man, I actually almost bought one and I didn't fit. It didn't fit.
It's not a fun car.
I'm 6'6", bro. It's a really tough car to drive. Like I'm driving like that.
So they need to apply that same feeling to the Z car. People rat and raved all about the Supra, right? They got so much press, but their cars are not selling. It's so funny that these critics really think that they got it right, but then it doesn't translate to sales. So I don't really listen to the critics no more. You listen to the people who actually go and buy the cars and drive it. People sit there and say Q50s are trash. But then it's like, do you own one? No. So,
I think it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I love Supras, and I've told you before, I love Mark IIIs more than all of them. But I think the Mark IV got so much hype just because of Fast and Furious. And I feel like we all have like that mental affection for it because of obviously like all the movies, Paul Walker, etc. But with the new Supra, I think Toyota expected that same hype from the Mark IV to translate to the Mark V immediately, but it doesn't. Because I think you're right. I think the body lines from the front don't flow so well to the back. It's a weird looking car, but I personally do like it just because it stands out. It's pretty different. It doesn't, there's nothing else I can think of on the road that looks like a Supra. And I think in the next maybe 5 years or more, there's going to be aftermarket parts that come out that make it look a little bit better. But I would personally buy it if it wasn't at the $60,000 price range. I would probably buy it like around 45. I know people are going to probably like kick me for that, but I just don't think it's worth the price. But I do like that it makes good power with a small amount of money, though, in comparison to other cars.
And it's lightweight. I agree with you. I agree to disagree. I would agree to disagree. I mean, if they made it $10,000 cheaper, I still don't think people would have purchased it at historic level.
True.
Still, because it's just, like you said, it doesn't look like anything else on the road. I agree with that. Because it kind of reminds me of like the Toyota Celica. Nothing really looks like a freaking Toyota Celica on the road. So it has that look to it. But they need to just translate, Nissan needs to translate something like that into the Z. Keep it roomy like the way it is, right? And then please make it aesthetically pleasing. That's the most.
Please make a good infotainment center. Like right now, I feel like that's where Nissan is really struggling. But it looks like the Qs look dope. But then when you actually start messing with the infotainment center, you just immediately get disappointed. But again, like I said, I do, since Nissan already has remember, everything I'm saying, I'm looking at it more at a functional point of view because that's what I'm all about. I want everything the Z to feel like a Z, but they also already have almost everything they need, so I don't see why they can't focus on the aesthetics at this point, because if you already have a motor that's fairly new and proving itself, that you can mate this transmission and you might just have to make minor adjustments. And you have another transmission that is available that you could try to mate it in maybe the Nismo version. What else do you have to focus on? So that car better look damn good and make me want to buy the Nismo and actually make the Nismo something like so much of a variant that it feels worth that you're paying the extra money instead of just getting a body kit, a little bit of extra suspension mods, and an H-pipe.
That's it. Hold that thought. Yeah. Enthusiast, join the chat on Instagram. All right. Enthusiast, if you have a Zoom on your thing, let me know. You have Zoom?
Yeah, jump on, bro. No, man, he sold us out, bro.
All right, we'll do that another day then. But yeah, I got him on IG because he wants to join in and pick on you. You got
Nah,
something to
man,
say?
enthusiast.
Got on the Z1 Motorsports shirt, flexing.
Is he wearing a polo?
No, it's a regular T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Hey man, congratulations on getting the car going, man. Seriously, I know you've been at it for quite some time.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, we gotta link up sometime. Seriously.
Bro, you're super close, sarcastically, but we can make it happen a lot sooner.
Yeah,
than
a lot
later.
closer. Though. Yeah, a lot closer.
We need to get boost. We need to fly boosts out here and make it happen, bro.
Oh, that could happen. That could definitely happen.
Absolutely.
That could definitely happen. But you were saying.
I was listening to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to you guys.
Oh, all right.
About the new seat, obviously being announced.
Mm-hmm.
The prototype is supposed to be announced very, very soon. All right, it's valid points. I think Nissan has a great stake holding a Jacko transmission. So we can expect to see either a 7-speed automatic or a 9-speed automatic from the Type. Hopefully that's the case. Definitely needs an update. And I think enthusiasts like myself, I mean, I can't really say much, but I know some people want to see a manual option.
Can't wait.
So with the future Nismo trim, obviously we all want to get a Nismo trim. And if you just see what that would look like.
But
a competition trim.
To piggyback on what he was saying, though, it's true. They need to make the Nismo better than the mid-level trim. Because you already know Nissan Infiniti likes to sit there and say, "Oh, we'll just give you some more crackers on top." Like, what? That's not enough. Like,
look at the red sport. Look at the red sport in the basic Qs. Like, there's not a huge difference between them.
With the red sport stuff. People hate me.
Nissan has to make me want to buy that Nismo, and that's I think the real big difference. Like, you can take a lot of, like you said it, and I watched that video from beginning to end. If the base model is a 2.0 turbo, a lot of people probably won't get the base model, like, that are enthusiasts, but there's a lot of the general public that would, because it's going to be cost effective and it's probably going to be great on gas, whatever. Yep. But if you're setting these trims to be wildly different, you're going to get a different type of buyer. You're going to get me, like the guy that's all about function and performance. I'm going to want to buy that Nismo because I'm getting the top line stuff. If it comes in a manual transmission, that's my first bet. But I would love to see Nissan make a transmission like what the Mustangs have, the 10R80. Imagine that. And a light chassis making 500 horsepower with just a couple of bolt-ons and some fuel. It's crazy.
I can't wait to see it.
I understand that. The lightweight, I understand. I haven't seen it, obviously. That thing is probably 700, 800 pounds lighter than my Q, as is stock pretty much. And I can already tell the difference. I mean, the motor already has the potential. But you put a car that weighs that much less, and that same motor in it with the potential that he has, it's a different story, man.
That's what we're talking about. Almost 1,000 pounds lighter his car is going to be. 1,000 pounds. E85 tune, E50 tune, what is that?
Power to weight, bro.
480 to wheel. Oh my God, that thing is going to be moving.
And that's with less drivetrain loss, so it should be a little bit more, but it's pretty wild. I want to see what this car. That's why I got to get a couple of drag races in. I got to see like how I do versus people like even with upgraded turbos like Edwin and all that, because the power to weight makes a big difference.
I completely freaking agree, man. I can't wait to freaking see it. Shoot, I forgot. You guys just jumped out of nowhere. And I'm like, shoot, what questions I gotta ask now? Shoot. Enthusiast, can you work for Z1 Motorsports?
I'm always popping up. I'm always popping up on enthusiasts. Like at the most random times. Now he's doing it to me, bro.
Hey man, feel free to do so. I'll be at ZCon, where they're supposedly this is a whole unveiling going to take place. So hopefully I can, get some sneaker shots in for you guys or something like that. But it's supposed to happen Tuesday the 15th at like 5:30 p.m. The prototype unveiling, whether it's a digital format or actual in person. So we don't know if the cars.
Wait, a few people actually like 1 or 2 guys DM'd me on YouTube and was like, off of YouTube and was like, hey, they're actually bringing the prototype to the States. Just letting you know. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't believe you.
Yeah,
I hope they're right.
But can we really get that much excitement out of a prototype? Because, I mean, look what they did with the 350Z prototype. It looks absolutely nothing like the 350Z.
But the G35,
the Q prototype was pretty close to the actual car. If you actually go back and look at the pictures, the Q, they just look a little bit less aggressive. I'm just hoping they don't drop the ball with the looks of this car. The way this car looks, everything.
That's the most important thing. Like I said in my latest videos, bear with me when everybody who's watching on this delayed video. Because you know I'm on Instagram talking to you guys say like, what the hell is Boost doing? Guys, if you already watching this, you're supposed to be on my IG because this is the lit stuff we do. When it comes to, like you said, the looks department, they gotta nail the looks department. But I still think like they need. Oh my God, they just need not to get this shit wrong. I'm sorry for cursing. Don't get this shit wrong. And I'm not even a coupe lover. I'm a sedan lover. But the fact that I'm like, please, Nissan, don't drop the ball. Don't drop the ball. And even go into some, and even to talk about, let's say, how making the chassis light. I was watching one of Nissan's recent videos. I think it dropped like 2 days ago. They want to use more carbon fiber plastic composites in the structure of their cars in the future. And that process on making the car's chassis lighter. So they want to use some of these parts on the top of the car, such as maybe doors and certain beams and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, they seem like they want to go to the future of things, but that stuff costs money. And it was talking about it because they used it on the GTR, but they only made the GTR like what, 50 pounds lighter? But it brought up the price, what, another $50,000 for Nissan GTR?
Yeah, that's why. If it happens in the Nismo, I think people will buy it. I'll be that idiot that buys it. I don't care. I'll say it. Like honestly, Nissan could throw it at any price. I'm kind of interested at being that idiot that buys a Nismo.
Nissan can make a M4 competitor. They have all the experience on doing so. They can fucking do it. I'm cursing. They can do it. They can do it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. They just like, you know what? We could, but we're not. Stop that. Go balls to wall. Look at freaking, we talked about enthusiasts. Look at Mopar. They're still giving everybody the same car, just with a different gimmick every 2-3 years. The same fucking car. Literally.
It works.
When people get mad about the BQ, oh, the BQ is in everything. Yeah, it's in everything.
It's in everything.
Still making money off the same recipe. So
people still buying 2020 370Zs. I don't understand that. They doing it. Doesn't make sense. But they're doing it. But they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they also should have put just like BMW, once again, BMW, and my boy Winner's watching, they should have put the VR30 in some of the crossovers. They should have put it in the QX50. They should have did that. They should have at the same time put it in the Q70. It should have been put in there. They were just like, let's not do that. Let's just kill the Q70. No, put it in that motherfucker too. That's it. So more people buy that shit.
If they're gonna do that though, man, they gotta fix the common problems. Because imagine like having these common problems across the board. And I feel like that's why the 3.7 did so well, because it's even to this day, it's not the fastest motor like NA, but it's super reliable.
It's super refined.
Yeah, tell me, I bang the rev limiter 700 like 10 times a day in the car.
So, okay, let me see who's in the chat. See if there's any questions here. You know. But once again, anybody who's maybe watching on this camera, once again, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, you got to check it out below. I'm going to have the links to his Instagram and to his YouTube because he is swapping a VR30 and the 370Z. I also have Enthusiast POV on the Instagram live because he just snuck on here. Like, what's up?
Stop making it about you, Enthusiast. This is about me, bro.
Yeah, like, he's a star right now.
Come on.
Shoot. But yeah, there's not really too much questions here, Z1 baby. I'm gonna gap. Somebody said they're gonna gap you more. Let me see. Front
we all drink.
Though. Infiniti is boring. Yes, Infiniti is boring. Like it is. I'm not gonna lie, it is. I agree. It really.
But you guys make it a lot more damn fun. If you guys didn't have the common problems like the belt and turbo seals, let me tell you, as a 3.7 guy watching from far away, I was like, look at all these 3.0 guys having all this fucking fun without us. Like, bro, easy power, man.
I mean, I've said it in one of my lives or a few of my lives, and even on video. Like, I know where it was there as a 3.7 owner, and it's like I want to have fun too. You know what I'm saying? And then once I got into the 3.0T, people sit there and they still DM me. They watch me on Instagram right now. Boost. So, what would you pick between a 3.7 and 3.0? And I always say, well, if I don't care about performance at all, 3.7. If I care about the performance, and it's the most important thing, 3.0. That's it. Like, that's a short answer. And it makes
I feel like there's an order to it. Like, if it comes to me in my mind, how it goes is the bottom of the barrel is 3.7, then it's 3.0, and then boosted 3.7 is like the top.
I would say they're actually right. It's crazy that they're both right around the same power range right now. Because if you go with a supercharged, lighter, a supercharged, right? Like, hit me out. Wow, I got two guys about to jump on me, and they both got these. They both got these. Hit me out. A supercharged pulley, E85 3.7, right? That's close to 600 pounds of torque. I mean, no, so close to 600 pounds of torque, and wait, no, that's lower than that. It's like 450 pounds of torque and about 600 wheel horsepower, right? And then you have a pure turbo VR30 E85. They're making similar wheel horsepower, but of course the VR30 is making more torque, so you already know it's gonna gap that 3.7. Yeah, I said it on video. All right, it's gonna gap it. It's gonna gap it. All right, yeah, I just want to say it. Because I got 3.7. Well, you're not really a 3.7 guy. Like, because
I know, I love the VQ game now, but
you're confusing me.
still,
I don't know what to do anymore.
It's just, man, if you put a boosted 3.7 versus a 3.0 turbo, it's pretty close in comparison with a lot of kits. Like, if you put the Doc Racing kit, that kit's ass. Like, and it honestly, just getting high pressure fuel pump and full E85 and all that, the 3.0 keeps up. But then I have buddies like my friend Lewis, who has a single turbo 3.7 big turbo. Man, that's going to be a tough fight. Like, that guy makes, I'm not going to put his numbers out there, but he makes big power. And it's very impressive how much a 3.7 can hold on boost. But also the 3.0 is pretty close behind.
That's what part that confuses me the most, because that means that they really over-engineered that 3.7.
It feels like it, to be honest.
10 years ago, people were scared to, like, throw any boost at a 3.7. Now people are like,
you also got to remember, but the 3.7 when it first came out, that's when the economy was good. People wasn't really worried about gas mileage. 3.7 gets terrible gas mileage if you really think about it.
Yeah.
The moment you modify one other things, you get like 15 miles. Back when they made it, it wasn't worried about, gas mileage, direct injection, all this fancy crap they got today. It was just strictly about having the the most compression, the biggest displacement that you can count into a V6. And that's what Nissan did, and they did it very well. The only kicker in there that I don't really like is the VVL system, and I'm sure he can chime in onto this one. The VVL can get in the way of a lot of things, but that's a whole nother month.
Okay.
Yeah, HR heads, baby. That's all you gotta do.
See, look, yeah. Left that life. No, I mean, I want to get back into it, but yeah. But also talking about it in a way that the motors are built now, I just don't understand how they would under engineer the VR30 though. We still don't know the limits though. Let's just be fair.
But
the motor wise, we still
motor,
don't know the limits. Did AMS show a lot of these motors yet? Stock? I don't know.
That's why I want to find out. That's why I want to go through these stages, and that's why I'm saying I'm probably going to blow this first motor.
No one knows.
It's like a hidden secret. No one likes
to
hear this type of information.
I mean, if those people who end up blowing a motor might have been a tuning issue, you know what I'm saying? Or they ran low on oil. There's squirting enough oil on them. Just saying, you never know. We don't know yet. I mean, running 600 pounds of torque on 0-20 might just be too much. I would never do that. I would never do that.
Let's find out. That's the only way we can do
this.
Oh,
don't you better not put 0-20.
Oh, no, let's find out.
Don't not do that. No, don't do that, please. No. But that's what I'm saying. No one still doesn't know the performance of the stock block itself, stock rod, stock pistons, when it's actually lubricated properly. And you know, I said lubrication, but you guys know what I'm talking about. We're talking about engines.
Yeah, we're talking about motors.
Trying to make sure.
But that's why that's when people were telling me to just boost to 3.7, and because I wanted to bring it back to the VR, like I'm super hyped to have this motor in my car because again, it's kind of like a precursor of what Nissan might do with the New Z. So it's pretty exciting to see this, like this might be what the New Z has, and I'm getting a taste of it in 2020. And I think that's awesome. But also another thing is like I get to already find out what the weak points are. Because imagine if they change nothing in this new motor, right? Like they just whatever 2022 or 2021 VR30 comes out. I know, but we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic. Yeah, same. So imagine we already know what the faults are. I already am gonna know personally how to fix it. I'm gonna make videos about how you can fix it. You guys have made numerous videos about it. There's already gonna be common knowledge. But with this knowledge that we're all gaining, with the new Z. Imagine making 500 or 600 plus. Some crazy idiot like me that will just pull that motor, go install some new turbos on day one. Like these are, to me, this is exciting.
Because it's already out. Like it's just
exactly.
Bloop, that's it.
Exactly.
You have all these big YouTubers. I'll be like, I just got the new Z, and they're like, but what about this guy page? He already made 700 wheel horsepower.
Exactly.
Late to the game. Put a comment
There's gonna be people that have no idea.
He's actually got a bigger bench too. He's got a lot more space to work with in the Q body and the Q50 or Q65. That Z can have like a little bit more space in that engine bay.
You're crazy. What? There's more space in the Q than the Z. The Z, I feel like I'm working in some like small factory. Like, yeah, man, I gotta send you guys pictures. It's so bad.
I gotta show you some stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, this was definitely a different chat today. I mean, once again, I'm just super appreciative of having you on. I'm super appreciative of you just coming out of nowhere, sir. Just jumping in like, hey, what's going on? But I'm just super appreciative of everything, man. I just want to use this platform to anyone that's watching to try to show more other YouTubers that follow me or I follow that I find interesting in the Nissan Infiniti community. I may stray outside of it, but I think this is like a good thing for you guys to just learn another way of how to do things. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Knowledge is power, and I'm glad that you're out there willing to share it with the world. You know what I'm saying? And to think about it, you're probably the only one on YouTube right now who's doing this.
Hey, enthusiast, I'm gonna put Z1 on the spot. Why don't you tell him to share some knowledge with me so I can get this done even faster? How about that?
Sir.
John, help me. I need your help, bro.
All day I'll talk to you, buddy. Just you.
Yeah, Z1 got the plug. So I'm gonna see you later, sir. Once again, please drop all your information, sir. All your information.
Yeah, NOIR TM on YouTube, on Instagram. Don't follow my Facebook, but yeah, I'll see you guys. Just if you have any questions with your VR swap.
On Facebook, I had to creep you guys. Yeah.
No, yeah, there's gonna be some people that still creep and do it. But if you guys have any questions with your VR swap, just let me know. A couple of people have actually started taking on, and so far, to my knowledge, there's about 8. So the community is expanding.
You should make a Facebook group for this. Like you should.
There's already a small group that when we see that you're actually dedicated and moving forward, like and fairly quickly, I noticed that they just kind of add you in. So if you have questions, the best way to ask is either me, Chris Scott, John Hood from UpRev, Brian Earl. There's a lot of people, Nate, Hugo. There's a lot of people that are doing this. You just got to reach out to us so we know, and we can put you in the chat. So if you have questions, we help you out. They saved my life multiple times. So by all means.
All right. And once again, you know, this is boostinmotion, and you know, I'm gonna sign out. Remember, don't you got merch too, bro?
Bro, on the way, man. But it's just, I want to be quiet about it because I want to drive it at 5,000 subscribers. So okay. I have the idea there, but I just want to be patient with it.
Yeah, because I want people to be able to donate, man, and purchase some merch or something, man. Because you're building.
Yeah, just follow my OnlyFans, like, or Patreon, Yeah, I don't see. Look at if you want to support, you can support me on Patreon. I do have like a little system for everybody that's supporting. I appreciate everybody that goes out the way to do it. But if you want to win on the merch, by all means, just support by watching the videos. That does a lot. It helps a lot.
All right, guys. So once again, I appreciate all you guys watching. Please go check all his social medias below. He's giving out you guys some good information. So otherwise, this is boostinmotion signing out. If you want to support me, support the channel, the Teespring account below for my t-shirt. Because you need to get one too. Or some kind of merch or something like that. But definitely, guys, support me, support the channel. I support other people and their channels. I just want to support everybody and share the wealth. All right, guys.
And one more quick thing. Wait. Before wait. Is Enthusiast still here or no?
No, he ran away. He left me alone.
Oh, well.
He's throwing thumbs up on IG, though.
Whatever. One thing I wanted to tell you guys is, like, thank you, man, because you guys, when I first started doing the VR swap, were the first persons to pop up on YouTube. So I really appreciate you guys for putting, just like how you're saying thank you for, that I'm putting the VR swap out on the internet. You guys really pioneered a way for a lot of people. So thank you to you and Enthusiasts because you guys helped me out a lot more than you even know.
Thank you, man. I don't appreciate that. Like, I could cry, but everyone's gonna call me a pussy on video. So I don't want to do that. But I'm signing out. See you later, brother. Appreciate it.
Later, dude.
All right.